Hello, hello. I hope you all have had a good weekend. It is time for me to make some bread. I have some white rye bread flour. I have never used this, so I'm going to do my hand at it and see what it does. I am putting an egg in first. In the bread machine, you always put your liquid ingredients in first, but I have to put the paddle in first, and she's struggling a little bit with it. I always put my egg in a little dish so I can check for blood spots. Now I'm going to put in some avocado oil. About 1/8 of a cup is what I'm using of the avocado oil. It does have a little green tint to it, so at this point I do not know what it's going to do to the bread. And then I'm putting in about 1.25 cups of water. I like my bread sweet, so I am going to top off this honey and just finish out the bear. It was probably about 2 tablespoons of honey, and then a dash of salt, maybe about 1/4 teaspoon. Now I've got 3 cups of that white rye flour, but I like raisins and cranberries in mine, so I'm alternating. Now there is a feature on there that when it beeps, you can put your add-ins in there. I don't like to do that because that kind of ties me to the machine, so I rotate. I do flour, cranberries, flour, then raisins. And then my yeast, and y'all, mason jars are amazing. Look how active, that yeast is just popping off of there. Look how active that yeast is. I did about, maybe a teaspoon of the yeast. And now I'm just gonna set it to my dough. I typically don't make the bread in the machine. I just let it do the hard stuff for me. Now while it's doing the paddle work, I go in and I scrape the sides. Y'all have seen me do this before, but I have several new viewers. This is the trick to getting really good bread out of your bread machine. So, and then I notice at this point it's real sticky like a cookie dough. So I ended up putting a little bit more flour of the white rye flour in it, and some all-purpose. And now it's still sticky, y'all. So now I'm just spraying my spatula with oil, with olive oil. And I'm just gonna pat this bread down in the loaf pan to kind of make it a little bit more loafy. Y'all, I just was very unsure at this point that the bread was gonna come out okay. Then I baked it on 385, and it actually came out really, really nice. I'm making tuna. So I'm just a standard recipe, just 2 boiled eggs of this Jake and Amos relish that I got from the Amish store. Probably about 1/4 cup of mayonnaise is what I put in there. I normally put like onions in there, but I just didn't feel like chopping up onions today. I'm just tired, y'all. Just tired. So I just stuck with the basics, and then I did about a tablespoon of everyday seasoning. While that's kind of sitting and resting and marinating, I am cutting me a couple of pieces of bread off. And again, I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. I don't know that I'll use the white rye flour again, but I had it, I purchased it, and I'm using it up. I have probably enough to make another loaf, but look how nicely that turned out. It turned out really, really good. Now I'm just gonna toast it up. So I can have a toasted tuna fish sandwich. And then I'll let the bread cool off, and I am just going to put it in a bread bag. That's what I like to store my bread in. So there she goes, and I'm just going to tie it on up with a real pretty little bow. and my bread is done. Pretty pleased with it. And it actually tasted really good. But I just don't like the texture of it. Pre-bake, I guess. Now I've got my toasted bread. Now I'm just going to cut up a couple of homegrown tomatoes that a coworker gave me. I didn't get a chance to do a garden. I might try for a fall one. I did plant one squash plant, and it looks like I've got one that I'm going to be able to use. And then we planted some corn and didn't realize that we were planting corn. That's a long story. I'll do a video on that some other time, but hopefully I'll get some stalks of corn before too long. But there's my sandwich, and it was really, really, really yummy. I'm very happy. So that's it for the video. I love you guys so very much, but Jesus loves y'all more. Bye.